Hey everybody, welcome to Show Some Huss. I am Leo. I'm here with my good buddy Donny. We are talking about our beloved Denver Nuggets. We are not going to dwell on the unfortunate early exit, although we are quite upset with it. We're not going to dwell on it. We're going to talk about some different things today. This is one of our post season pods where we're going to talk about a barrage of topics. Some are going to relate to our season, and some are going to relate to our future. So, Donnie, you ready to go?
Let's do this, my friend. Let's bring it in.
So, first and foremost, we're going to start off with something not great to talk about, but it is a recent event, and it's important to our Nuggets and our culture. The passing of Drew Gordon, our starting forward's brother, Aaron Gordon. Donnie, do you know much about Drew Gordon or what happened?
I don't know really what happened. Honestly, I know more about him. I remember him in college. I think at UCLA. That's what I remember more than anything. It seemed like him and his brother were really close.
Yeah, for sure.
Regardless of, whether you're close with your sibling or not, the passing of any sibling sucks, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be weighing on his mind. I mean, I don't think anything compares to the passing of your brother, but it's like two whammies, right? You get a quick exit, and then now you don't have that person that you love, right?
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah. I can't imagine. It's um the fact that they shared the common bond of the love of basketball. But not only that, like you said, it's just that's your person.
Mhm.
So shout out to the Gordon family, specifically Aaron and everyone that was close to Drew.
Yeah.
So we are gonna move on to something more positive. Man, I kind of feel like we should have saved that one for the end. That was kind of a downer.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on to something positive. Because all hoopers, that's what we do. We learn from the past, we move on. Donnie, the Olympics.
Mhm.
Got the Olympics coming up this summer. What are your thoughts on Nikola Jokic playing for Serbia?
It kind of excites me. There's a part of me that's like, I wish he had a little bit more time off. Seeing as last year he barely got any time off, or at least what his standard is, right? Um, but I I will be cheering for the United States. You know, that's where we're from. But
We should win it.
yes,
We
like
should.
regardless of the talent that's out there, we still have the deepest pool to choose from. Um, you know, there's going to be what, two Nuggets? I think maybe three. I think Vladko Chanchar could play for Slovenia. Is that where he's from?
Oh, man, I should know this. I thought he was also from Serbia. I can look it up here.
I'm pretty sure he's from Slovenia because I think he plays with Luca.
Oh, that's one. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah,
yeah.
that is correct. I was like, no, he plays with a star. It's Luca.
But Jamal in Canada.
I know, man. That's a great backcourt.
Yeah.
Shea and Jamal. That's gonna be a tough go for anybody.
Isn't McDaniels Canadian?
I hope not.
I know. It's going to be the parody is going to be better.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. It's not gonna be a steam through.
No, no.
I don't know what a steam through is, but I kind of just made it up right there. So what about do you think our, you said you're going for the US. Who are your starting five?
Oof. I think you got to go with Steph, LeBron, KD, Ant, and I would honestly go with Adebayo at the five.
Mm-hmm.
I think LeBron and KD kind of play that four or that 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
Ant at the two, Steph at the one.
Adebayo over AD.
Yes,
Yeah, I think
100%.
a couple seasons ago, I'd have been like, yeah, okay, whatever.
He might stay on his feet.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The best ability is availability.
Yeah, and I mean AD off the bench.
Oh yeah, every single player on that team's a starter
Yeah.
and a star. So
Yeah. Is that what's your starting five?
the exact same.
Exact same?
Yes,
Is it?
100%. I was like, you got to get Book out of there. You got to get Ant in there. He plays a better style of defense. Um, you gotta you gotta take AD out and you gotta put Bam in just because of toughness.
Yeah.
And obviously you gotta have the other three. The other
Yeah.
three are the biggest staples in the NBA for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I agree with it 100%, man. So USA gold.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit disappointed if it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Um,
I just don't know who would or should beat us.
yeah, like it's but then again, I mean, I've said that in the past,
Mhm.
and in the past, I feel like the parity was nowhere near what it is today.
Oh, 100%.
You know, like there was Spain back in the day with Gasol, there was France with Tony Parker, Ginobili with Argentina. You know, I think Brazil even had a good team like Leandro Barbosa and
Yeah.
Nene,
Oh man, yes.
you know. So, but nowadays, I mean, even Australia has got a good team.
Yeah. Joe Ingles is nothing to
Yeah.
laugh at. Now, who else plays for Australia that I'm missing?
Oh, well, you got Giddy,
Oh yeah,
Josh, and I think there's a few others. Um,
Gideon Ingles. That'd be a yeah. Ingles, he is.
he's so crafty.
He really is.
He's like a poor man's Ginobili,
Yes.
you know? Yeah. Um, but what team beside the United States are you keeping an eye on?
Well, any team that Luca or Nikola play for,
Yeah.
that's something in Europe.
I'll probably watch those two teams just as much as I watch the US.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. And I would be shocked. Aren't the Wagner boys from Orlando? Aren't they from Germany?
Yeah. Germany should have a good team.
Germany should have a decent team.
They got Schroeder.
Schroeder, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
Hmm.
know. It should be. I'm excited to watch more than just the United States in this upcoming Olympics.
Yeah. It feels like a World Cup type of,
Yeah,
you know, like I think they do have like a FIBA World Champion World Cup thing,
yeah,
but the Olympics get so much more attention when it comes to basketball.
and that's fair, and it should.
Yeah.
Um, but someone who will not be competing in the Olympics, but someone who's been a big topic for Nuggets controversy, is MPJ.
Mhm.
Donnie, what are your thoughts on MPJ? Performance, um, play style, whatever, man. Throw it at me.
Well, a lot of the buzz is, you know, we go out in a game we should have won. I feel like we still should be playing. Everyone's like, you know, they want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They want to tear everything down. Now, and MPJ, I think his biggest criticism isn't necessarily his play. It's the fact that he's on a max and he's not playing like Joker or Jamal.
Yep.
That's the biggest criticism. Now, I've done since we got knocked out, I've done a ton of research and I want to get to it at the end about the salary cap in the NBA. I have learned a lot. And I think Josh Kroenke said this in his postseason press conference was when they built this team, when they started handing out max contracts, they were under the previous CBA,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of gave a lot more room when it came to max contracts.
Yep.
And essentially now it's going to be difficult to have three. I know, and we already do. So that limits what we can add. I think there will be ways we can figure it out. I think the reason this current CBA went into place was number one, stop the big three that LeBron started years and years ago.
Yep.
Stop KD going to the ridiculously good Golden State Warriors, and it was to help the smaller market teams, and now it's kind of screwing over the smaller market
No,
teams.
it's killing us. It's killing us.
Right. So I don't want to trade MPJ, and there's multiple reasons. One, I actually think that there is still a really, 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 really good player in there.
Mhm.
You look at his just anatomy. I know everyone. I probably creep people out saying it, but I talk about his anatomy all the time. 6'10", probably 7 foot plus wingspan,
Jeez, you weirdo.
right? And just at like his jumper is just so pretty to watch,
It really is,
you
man.
know.
It is. It's the best jumper in the league.
Um, and
What
then
what would you give him for a season grade?
oh, season great. Sorry.
No, just him.
He played nearly every game.
He did. He played 81.
And I want to be straight with everyone about these grades. I'm not grading everyone on the same scale. I'm grading them kind of based on who they are.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give them a B minus.
Think that's a fair grade, man.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, I would have said a B.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on MPJ? Like this whole thing with everyone talking, let's trade, let's trade.
I don't know, man. I think you said it best with baby in the bathwater. At first, man, I was like, we trade everyone except for Nikola Jokic. We get rid of everybody. That was, minutes after we lost. And after it's all settled, I want to keep everyone.
Mhm.
Because we get Chanchar back.
Mhm.
I think that's a huge piece. It's a
Agreed.
huge piece. If we have Chanchar in the playoffs last year, um, I don't think we lose a playoff. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I truly think he is that good. He's the scoring piece off the bench that we'll need. Anyway,
Yeah.
so MPJ, I was very, very frustrated and disappointed in his last, 7 games. It is what it is, man. After everything he's dealt with this year, both personally, professionally, I just I give him a B.
Yeah.
I think he performed above average. Do I think he performed at his contract? No. I You said it though. There's a good player in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Chanchar, I think he's actually a restricted free agent this year, but restricted free agents, it's kind of like if you don't want someone, let him go with a restricted free agent. But if you want to keep him, you'll be able to sign him. Unrestricted free agents, that's what we dealt with last year with Bruce. Yeah. So I agree with you. I think we still have some pieces. I mean, and again, going back to the MPJ thing, it's not like teams aren't gonna take that contract for what they're getting. So we will not get in return what we need.
No, not at all.
So it would be a loss on our end if we traded MPJ. I just don't see us being the only thing that we could gain is some cap room, but that's it.
Hmm.
Maybe.
I don't. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what this guy's contract looks like right now. But would you go 1 for 1 for Zach LaVine?
No.
I, I don't even know if.
A lot of Zach LaVine, wasn't he injured most this year?
Yeah, some of that might have been Tank though. There's
Could have been.
talk of that.
Yeah. I mean, he wanted out of Chicago, right?
I don't think so.
No,
I could be wrong.
I thought he wanted out. I mean, you're right though. It could be a lot of tank. I mean, if you are worried about MPJ because of injuries, then don't go get a guy who's also been injured.
And MBJ played 81.
Yeah, and I don't think Zach LaVine can shoot the three as well.
He shoots it way more. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying yeah, I would agree. I
Is that something you're thinking about?
No, it's just I saw a couple things on the internet today. You know how crazy the internet gets, and it was a bunch of 1 for 1s. Levine for Markkinen, Levine for MPJ, Levine for Franz.
Ooh,
Yep,
I would not do that.
Levine for DeJounte Murray, but I think isn't I don't know. I think DeJounte Murray has it was. I think not all of them were logical.
Yeah,
But it got me thinking. I was like,
it's interesting.
because Levine would bring a scoring factor that we need. However, I don't need him to do it on 57 shots.
Yeah, like it's MPJ just fits the system, I feel like.
Mhm.
Um
Stays in his lane.
Seasons, yeah. I mean,
Sometimes that frustrates me though.
a little bit, yeah. Like sometimes we kind of, and I mean, he did in that Lakers series.
Yeah.
Went off. I mean, he shot really well, but I don't know.
And shooters are gonna have those streaks, man.
Yeah, it's
It was 7 games. It's a lot of games. I agree.
Steph Curry is like he's an anomaly. You're just not gonna find that anywhere else. And when MPJ goes off, though, he goes off.
Well, and Steph had what 4 or 5 games this year where he went 1 for 11.
Yeah, yeah. I think when he played us, he didn't even play that well.
Yeah. So, I'm I so to get back to what you're saying, I say we keep him.
Mhm.
But moving on to another player that kind of did not. No, I'm not saying that. A player that has kind of been a talk of Nuggets controversy is Jamal Murray.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Mr. Jamal? Is that contract something we are eating? Is he performing where he should be? Are
You
you
know, I
happy? Are you
would,
mad?
you know,
What do you
co
think?
coming off a playoff run last year that was just absolutely ridiculous and was needed. He was injured quite a bit this year. His body's gone through a lot of trauma and stress after the ACL, and it can lead to injuries in other parts of the body
Yeah.
because when you're going through the rehab, you're overcompensating in certain areas. I don't know. I wish I knew how serious that calf injury was. I wish I did because if it was, more like, here's my question. If that's in a regular season game, if he's got this injury in a regular season game, does he play?
Well, okay, okay, no, probably not. Um, but I mean, I think a lot of minor things, and for the reason that you said that they want to hinder future or more injury
Hmm.
to other places in the body. However, so then would you say then it's on Jamal that he put us in that position because he's the one that told the doctors that he should play when he played terrible?
Yeah, I mean,
So do we blame Jamal?
I don't know if I blame him because, okay, here's the deal. If we had Bruce Brown
Yeah,
to pick up that,
it's all good.
yeah, to pick up that slack,
Yeah,
yeah, you put in Bruce Brown more minutes, right? Like that's just obvious.
yeah,
We didn't have that this year. Reggie
and
Jackson is a solid 15 to 25 kind of guy, like minutes wise.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
I don't think that he can carry that heavy load that we needed from a point guard, especially in that Minnesota series when they were basically full court pressing the entire time.
yeah, yeah.
So
Man, we were soft.
yeah, I mean, here's the deal. If anyone wants to get rid of Jamal, number one, who do you want? And then ask yourself, is that even realistic? Like, would that team trade for Jamal? It's like, could we go get John Morant? I mean, I'm not saying you want, I don't want John Morant. I'm saying like, what's a really, or let's say we wanted Jalen Brunson.
Oh, dude, no,
They're not giving him up. Everyone's like, oh, I
no.
want this guy. He's amazing. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. But that team wants to keep him for that reason.
And that's the kind of problem with how Jamal performed this year is that no team is going to give up their starting point guard for Jamal Murray.
No.
Not a single one.
Yeah. So all the trade talk to me,
I
it's
mean,
not just about like whether you want to trade him or not. It's not going to happen.
there's just no one. Yeah, he's not, and we wouldn't do it because, or sorry, other teams wouldn't do it because I love Jamal, but he's not. He's not better than Jalen Brunson. He's
No.
not better than Ja.
Mm-mm.
He's not better than Luca. He's not better than Shea. He's not better than Steph.
No. And those teams don't want, those teams are building their teams around those guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I
And
mean, the thing is I what I want is to put aside the trade talk of any of the starters.
yeah,
Okay. And ask, how can these starters improve? It's not like all of them have peaked. Maybe AG has peaked a little bit, but could he improve his 3-point shooting? Yeah.
in KCP, I would say is peaked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. KCP is what he is, but we know that, right? Like, if we were playing him at max, I'd be a little bit more upset.
I haven't looked at his advanced stats defensively, but do you feel like I feel like in crucial times he got burned a lot more than he has in years past. And it's
Yeah,
not because of technique, it's simply because of father time.
it could be. It could be.
His shooting wasn't great. But I don't want to get rid of him because he's a two-time champion. You how many teams have a two-time?
Yeah. And I mean, when you think of getting rid of someone again, who do you bring in?
Do we bring someone up?
Exactly. Like, do we really think that Christian Brown can make that move? I don't think so. Not yet. I think if he does ever become a starter in this league, it's not right now, or he has to go to like the Pistons.
Yeah. I honestly I could see that. I could see Mike making that switch. I don't think CB is nearly as good offensively, but I think defensively he can get there by next season.
I'd like that. I mean, it would help the cap situation significantly,
Yeah,
but then it also weakens our bench.
this is true. This is where Chanchar comes in.
True.
I don't know.
I mean, it's so true
This
though.
this is where Zeke puts on 25 pounds and goes to uh Texas Roadhouse, and I don't
Right.
know why it's Texas Roadhouse, but
Yeah, right. Like, just can we get him like a
get him a
sponsorship?
steak. Get him a steak.
Yeah, with Texas
He
Roadhouse
needs a
or
steak.
steak every night.
Yeah, steak and taters.
Don't worry about the cholesterol, big guy. Just
Steak and taters, my man. Throw a piano in there for him, guys. I don't care.
the thing about, and I'll be quick about this, but with Zeke, I love that he can shoot. He's a decent 3-point shooter.
I think so too.
And gosh, dude, you could be that guy.
But we don't want you there, bro. We have plenty of guys that can do that.
Yeah, I know.
You're 6'11".
That's not what we need.
We need you and your hair
Yeah.
down in the paint.
Yeah.
What grade would you give Jamal for the season?
Okay, Jamal.
I never get asked you that.
I'm gonna go C plus.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
C plus, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he was out injured, right?
That's exactly why I would give him a C plus and not a B.
Yeah.
Well, not I wouldn't say that's why. I would just say he didn't after he came back, he didn't improve or bounce back as much or as great as I thought he would.
Yeah, I kind of expected what we saw in the playoffs last year to happen all year, or at least more consistently.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was kind of the issue. I think we all expected that. Yeah.
25, 5-5 at the beginning of the year, and
Mhm.
maybe that's unfair to ask him.
Yeah. I mean,
Can he do it? 20 games a year? Heck yeah.
that's and I truly believe that he has the ability to do it. We just got to get him to do it. The potential is there.
And he has the best passer in the league on his team. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's possible. I think it's possible for any of them to average 25.
Yeah. What's your Jamal grade?
C, dude, I'm not trying to be a copycat, but I feel like you nailed it with C plus.
Okay. Okay.
I'd even say B minus. I'm being generous today, but
Yeah.
But no, I can't even give him a B because a B is above average. I
Yeah.
would say he was average to approaching above average.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. The font is getting to me. What are your expectations for our bench moving forward? With the return of Chanchar. I don't know, man. Like Colin Gillespie wins Player of the Year in G League. We gotta look at that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Reggie.
Reggie has a player option. He'll probably pick up. I would like to see Gillespie get some early time in the season. I mean, CB and Peyton Watson they're going to be huge pieces. And is Justin Holiday, did we sign him to a 1 year?
Man, I don't know.
It's a guy, if we can get him for a good price, I wouldn't mind keeping. But I think when it comes to the bench, it's all about, can we get a big that can either come in and help AG or come in and help the MVP.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting him to play like the MVP.
Give us 5 minutes of rest.
Dude, 5 minutes. I mean, imagine,
you only have to do it 2 times a game.
Yeah. And it's just like, I wish I could put DJ's mind into Zeke's body. Because that would be the perfect
oh my gosh
replacement,
Oh my gosh.
With his ability to actually hit free throws.
That person would be a starter.
Yeah.
Someone is getting pushed to the bench on our team if that can get developed.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's a man.
What are your thoughts?
I think we improve shooting wise. With Chanchar coming back, I'm worried about keeping everybody. And I'm worried about. You think Reggie? You said you think Reggie will pick up the player option?
I do. I don't think he's a huge hit to the cap, so I don't think it's a huge deal.
Okay. I don't know. To be honest with you, after this year, how can you expect much? Unless there's change, like what's going to get better besides Chanchar? And I love Chanchar. We all love Chanchar, but we don't know how great that's going to actually pan out to be.
From a player, I think from a player, like a player standpoint, I don't think we can get better. I don't think we can go get a Nas Reed type guy. I mean, Nas Reed, in my opinion, should just go be a starter somewhere.
Yeah,
Or the Timberwolves should trade one of their bigs and then make him the starter.
yeah.
We're not gonna be able to find a guy like that. We're not gonna be able to find a guy probably like Jeff Green. So I look at as Zeke Naji, put in the work this summer. Play summer ball. Everything. No breaks, man.
Earn that 10 million this year.
Yeah, like I don't want it to I don't want him to be our choice, but here's my thing. We might need to go into the year thinking that with also a contingency plan. We might need to trade.
Yeah.
And I don't know who that would be. I'm not saying it's gonna be MPJ.
It'll have to be a starter.
Yeah,
It'll
like
have to be a starter.
I just don't, or we're just gonna have to sacrifice the next 5 years of picks.
I don't know about that.
Exactly. Like I'm not saying I want to. I'm saying like it's a heavy price regardless.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like when we look at trying to solve this bench, especially from a big man standpoint, it has to be from personal development.
That's a good point, Donnie.
Yeah.
It's put the work in. You said it. Go to summer league.
Yeah. Hit the weight room,
Very
man.
simple.
Steak. Texas Roadhouse.
Texas.
Get him a sponsorship. Get him free steak every night.
Texas Red House.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say someone has a gun to your head and they say you got to make a Nuggets trade right now. And it's got to be realistic. It's got to be logical. It's got to be viable. It's got to be sellable. Donnie, what's your Nuggets trade?
Okay. I think we already talked about this. Um, I don't want to do this, nor do I think it would actually happen. Okay.
Oh
Because
my
I just
God,
said
flip
all,
the disclaimers.
I just said all this stuff about not wanting to trade him. I don't want to trade him.
I know.
I
We all
don't.
know it.
I would trade MPJ
Donnie, you said you wouldn't trade him.
for McDaniels.
Oh, a 1-for-1?
Yeah, I might take a second round pick with it.
Like we would get the second round pick.
I think we have to give up a second round pick.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Jaden McDaniels.
Because they'd be eating cash. I don't think they couldn't afford that, nor would they do that, nor do I want that to happen. I'm just saying it to me, I feel like McDaniels would bring a lot of that. He's a decent 3-point shooter. He's not MPJ.
No. No one really is.
No. Defensively, though, the guy's a
Well,
monster.
and before we go to defense it's night and day
Yeah,
between those two.
I know.
But what I like about him offensively is that he's a decent shooter. He's a slicer and dicer.
Mhm.
He's gonna get Joker 3 more assists a game.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
because that's 3 more dunks. That's more crowd into it. I love that trade, man. I'd accept that all day.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. What do you have one?
Well, now I do. No. Wow. MPJ for McDaniels.
Yeah.
That's nasty. That's nasty. All right. I would trade KCP and Zeke for Clay Thompson.
Oh, you still think he's got it in the tank?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. I do. And I don't here's the thing, man. He doesn't need to have it in the tank every night. The dude still plays defense.
That's true.
So,
That's very
dude,
true.
I don't care what you have in the tank.
Yeah.
Play your defense, dog.
Like
And when you do have it in the tank, we're going to get you a 60 ball.
yeah, like his criticism all comes from his offense.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a free agent.
And I feel like, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So that if I were to pick, like, I guess it's not terribly logical, but I feel like
I would love for him to be on the Nuggets.
if I had to give up something to get something,
I mean, there's your KCP replacement.
I would give up, and but would I give up CB and KCP for that? The answer is no.
I don't want to give up on CB yet.
No.
He's still young. If CB was like 5-6 years into the league and he was still playing at this level, I'd be concerned. I mean, every year we've seen a little bit of growth. I mean, the guy's become such a key piece of this team, and he's only played 2 years. So, yeah, to me, CB's value is a lot higher than
Mhm.
some other guys on the team.
Mhm.
Um, but I wouldn't mind that, dude. The issue would be if you gave up Zeke, then we're really thin at the big man spot.
Oh, I know. Um, so I guess Joker just has to play 48. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what you want.
Joker, get some rest this
Yeah,
summer.
we'll go full Tom Thibodeau and play our guys 60 minutes a game and then wonder why they're hurt.
Yeah,
Josh Hart, man, playing 42 minutes a game. What
those
what
Villanova
what are
boys.
we thinking? Yeah, right. Those guys are built different. No. But yeah, man, that's I would love to, I'd love to do like a Reggie Jackson and Colin Gillespie for Kobe White.
Yeah, I think that actually be worth it.
No,
I mean, he'd be coming off the bench.
yeah, and that's three dudes that don't play defense. It's three dudes that shoot the ball pretty well. One dude that's proven to be a 100% bona fide scorer.
Defense, though, to me, it's like all effort. It's
It
not
really is.
like it's something I feel like can be still not necessarily taught, but it can be encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't. I feel like if you get to the NBA, you're either a really good shooter, like you can't go from like being an okay shooter to like Steph Curry,
Yeah.
but you can become a really good defenseman.
Yeah.
You just gotta put in the effort.
That's exact. You just gotta show some hustle.
Yeah,
Just gotta show some hustle, Donnie.
yeah.
Oh, that was fun. All right. Well, speaking of getting the fans into it with better play, what are your thoughts on fan allowance, Donnie? We talked about you said the clip show, right?
Yeah, clip show.
Clip show is doing this thing, guys, where uh if you have a jersey on of a different team when you're going to the game, when you're going to a Clippers game, you have to sit somewhere specific.
No,
Or
so
am I wrong?
so they have an area in the Clippers arena that is specifically only for Clippers fans.
Oh, only for Clippers fans.
Yeah,
Only
so
for
like
Clippers fans.
the,
Okay.
the majority of the stadium will probably still be Clippers fans, but if you're in this like I think they call it like the supporter section,
Yeah.
then if you have like Nuggets gear, LA or Laker gear, you literally have to leave. It's like in the condition of buying that
Oh,
ticket. They can literally remove you.
dude, see, I feel like all tickets to Nuggets games should be that way.
I agree.
Every single ticket,
I agree.
every single one.
You have to submit your birth certificate.
You, you have, yeah, there has to be some sort of, there needs to be a selection process.
Yeah.
Or, and here's the thing, or if you want to, if you're a fan of the other team and you want to come support, cool, triple the price.
Yeah, like have a
sure.
little premium.
Triple the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of state tuition.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of state tuition. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah. I mean, I look,
Out of state tuition.
if you're a long time listener of this podcast, at least through this first season that we did it, you have heard me complain tremendously about Lakers fans, right?
Mhm.
And how they just flood that stadium. And I will say,
That's because last year they were Nuggets fans and now they're Lakers fans.
yeah, I it bothers me. It does. It does. It bothers me in numerous ways.
To hear Wolves in 4.
The Wolves in 4 thing killed me. When I went to that game too, I was on the train and there was probably equal amount of Wolves jerseys on that train as there wasn't. It was weird.
Sickening.
It was weird. I was like, did I, just teleport to Minneapolis or what's going on here? I didn't know, man. But in the end, it's not really something you can control. But I do like that. I do like that. And soccer does that. Europe, their club is just like for away games is distributed a certain amount of away tickets, and you have to like register with that club to get those tickets. You can't. It's intense, and they separate them from everyone else, and they have like literally guards between the section.
What?
Yeah, and you get escorted out separately.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah. Now I'm not saying we need to escort people out separately. Okay, this is not. I'm not trying to create like. I just
Want to get rid of the other fans.
I just don't like them.
Yeah, I don't
Get
understand.
out.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want you around. Never do. Never will.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I've never had a friend that's a Minnesota Timberwolves fan.
Yeah.
Apparently, I just don't have anything in common with you.
Well, I mean, back in the early 2000s, I was a huge Kobe fan. So
Yeah,
of course I'm screaming, go Lakers and stuff, but you're specific to the player, but I mean to the Nuggets, I don't get it, man. And it's different, I guess, because the Lakers have been successful for a long time. The Chicago Bulls have been successful for a really long time. So the history that goes with it, I guess. But to to be a Lakers fan in Denver is just
it breaks my heart.
sickening. It's sickening, Donnie. It should be illegal.
Yeah, like be something weird. Be a Utah Jazz fan.
Be a Charlotte Hornets
There
fan.
you go.
I work with a guy and a super great guy. Shout out to Corey at school. He's from New Orleans.
Okay,
So
Pelicans fan.
he loves the
All
Pellies.
right, all right,
So I've been talking up Zion all year and he's more on that Brandon Ingram game and I can see it.
dude.
I would you and I did a pod earlier this year about picking up some players and I think you picked him up in your team and I was super jealous because I had the exact same pick. But Brandon Ingram, man, is yeah. Anyway, we need to get rid of opposing fans from the from Ball Arena because it's gross, it's disgusting.
You know what?
And
I actually really like what you suggested. It
what?
should be more expensive.
Yeah, that's
I actually really like that idea. If you really want to go, cool, but you got to pay.
yeah, and it should be like the money that we make off of that or whatever the Nuggets make off it should go to like I don't know, like getting kids jerseys.
Yeah,
Or like
yeah, make it like a
yeah,
something to help the community in Denver or
yeah,
in Colorado, not just Denver.
yeah. But then you're gonna
Yeah.
have a bunch of nice Timberwolves fans. They're like, "Oh, here's $5,000. I'll sit up with God. I don't care."
Hey, it's to a good cause.
Yeah, and they're gonna come and scream their heads off for Nas and
Oh.
hold their Nas Reed towel.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out it was not Wolves in 4. It was Wolves in 7. And it's been what, 2
I was
weeks?
so worried it was gonna be Wolves in 4.
Dude,
I
yeah,
was
I'm
so
not gonna lie to
concerned.
you. We were desperately lucky to be even in game 6.
Donnie, you were not lying with that. You were not lying with that.
Like you and I went to game 2,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
was one of the worst performances I think I've ever seen this specific team
It
put on.
was like we were trying to be bad.
Yeah.
But we will not be that way next year.
No.
Um, Donnie,
Yes, my friend.
I think these have kind of abated since right after the playoffs, but right after the playoffs, there was a big call for not a big call, that's not true. There was a call to fire Mike Malone. Um, dude, I don't know. Adrian Griffin. Not I keep saying Adrian Griffin. That's not his name. What was the coach from Bucks?
Oh, uh, my hairstylist is from her husband's from Milwaukee, and there she's a diehard Milwaukee Buck fan, and she was telling me she's like I couldn't believe they fired because Adrian Griffin wasn't he the one who won the title with them?
Yes.
And
No, that was Bud Holzer, who they also fired.
oh, okay, so they fired both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they have Doc Rivers, which whatever.
Which like, is that what playing? Is that what coaching Giannis is like?
Yeah, like it just didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Are these Giannis's calls?
Yeah, and I guess to go back to the firing of Mike Malone, you're probably one of those people who moved here and then became a Nuggets fan because you have no idea what it is like. This is not normal, people. This is so abnormal to a longtime Nuggets fan that it's like you have fantasies of winning the lottery. That's what we got.
Yeah.
Okay. You do not get picky.
It was Willy Wonka's golden ticket,
Correct.
and we got one.
Yes, Mike
We
Malone.
get another one. We don't. It's very possible.
Yeah, like Mike Malone is a phenomenal basketball coach,
Mhm.
and he has this team.
He's a player's coach.
Yes, I mean, did we win it this year? We did not.
We didn't have a good enough team.
Yeah, there is always growth and failure.
Yeah.
And that's where we need to go. And I think Mike Malone knows that. Mike Malone has built this team. I mean, he's gone through some bad years. It's not like he was great when he was first came here.
I think his first 6 years, our record got better every year.
Yes.
Like that's impressive.
Dude, the impatience of a lot of teams set them back because they look for that just quick short-term success.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say they won it the bubble year. They won it the bubble year because it was number one the bubble year, and 2, they have LeBron James.
Yeah.
And AD.
And well, well, and LeBron got COVID, but he didn't have to sit out. But everyone else got COVID; they had to sit out. But that's a different conversation for later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. And the look at the Lakers. Look at where Milwaukee is right now.
Hmm.
I don't know, man.
Well, even didn't the Sixers, because the Sixers had Doc Rivers,
Mhm.
then they now have oh, the guy that used to coach, was it Toronto?
Oh, Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean,
I
they're
like Nick.
like, and that's the thing. Like, I think all these coaches are good coaches. I mean, they're if you get a shot at an NBA coaching position, you're not a bad coach.
No, you have proven yourself elsewhere.
Yeah. Like it's not like any of these. It's just about. I think it's also there are people just fit properly in certain places.
100%. 100%.
Look at Aaron Gordon. He did not fit well in Orlando. Moves here, fits well.
Oh yeah.
Do I think he would fit well in most other teams? No.
He had a star role in Orlando, and he's still playing better here.
Yeah,
And he's the fourth option.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like,
That's how good Nikola Jokic is.
and I think it goes out to the Cronkies, dude. The Cronkies, like if you look at the teams that they own, they're really good at least recently. I don't know too much about their past,
Mm-hmm.
but you look at the Avs, you look at the Nuggets, and you look at the LA Rams. They've stuck with these coaches.
Mm-hmm.
All three teams have a championship in the last probably 10 years.
Yeah.
It's I understand that this is a business and you need to win. But sometimes winning, you have to be patient. You know, the impatience is, I feel like people look at patience as non-action, but patience is a form of action.
I love that.
Yeah, I stole that from a show I was watching earlier.
Oh, I thought it was a fortune cookie, but still,
I literally thought I was like, that was a pretty good line. I'm going to use that.
I will have patience for Mike Malone probably for as long as he wants to coach. That's fine.
Yeah.
But as far as our roster,
Hmm.
Donnie, we have about 5 years, I would say at most,
Mhm.
left of winning a championship before you or I die. I don't see us getting another Nikola Jokic, and I don't see him playing another 6 to 10 years.
I couldn't agree more. Our window is about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to shove as many titles into that window as possible.
Oh my gosh.
And, but see, the coaching change, that would not change anything in my opinion. But the personnel,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
Now, that's a whole thing. We kind of covered it a little earlier.
We did, but it doesn't need to change.
What can we do?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are rules. And again, I consider myself a NBA salary cap aficionado now. No, I'm just kidding.
You know
I
a lot
read
about that is for sure.
I read the Wikipedia page.
You're like, I also wrote half of it. So
Right. So I hope that we're aggressive. I hope that we maybe take some risks, but not enough risks where it could also,
Midas.
yeah, like it could sacrifice a year.
Mhm.
I don't want that because you're right. The window, it's there, and I never thought we could say we'd have a window this long ever
Yeah.
again.
Or have a window.
Thank you. Even a year. I
Mhm.
thought we did. I thought our best year would forever be the Melo Billups year against Kobe.
Mhm.
I always thought that. And now
That was a great year.
yeah, phenomenal year. And then now we're looking at a three-time MVP that is definitely going to finish his career here. We have a point guard that just needs to figure his mind out and probably his body.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. Lots of rest, my man.
so personnel wise, I think that's above my pay grade. I don't know. I've been looking at free agents. I don't think we can afford anyone that I want. Development, man, guys, hit the gym,
Mm-hmm.
work. Joker, don't work, rest.
Yeah. Yeah. I
We-
think for now, I agree, man. We don't make any changes. I think we need to be way more aggressive, way more like because we weren't aggressive. We did nothing at All-Star break.
Yeah.
This year. So unless if we're on pace for 60 wins at All-Star break, make no changes. But if we're on pace for even 50 wins and a possibility at second place,
Mhm.
I say no because that first round home court advantage is everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Second round it gets a little different.
Yeah.
But it's still I, the playoff percentages show home court advantage. It's a thing.
Yeah. And I also think if you want to be playing well. I mean, I kind of see the NBA season as like preseason. I feel like the playoffs are actually the season. It's kind of like you need to be playing well. It's tough to just get, I'll think, okay, well, we'll get hot in the playoffs. That you're putting a lot of faith into that.
Yeah,
You need to
yeah.
you need to be playing well all year long. It's repetition. I mean, you look at the team that won it 2 years ago. Um, we had the one seed from Christmas all the way to the playoffs. We played
Hmm.
really well.
Hmm.
I know we had to stumble towards the end, but I think a lot of us it was because we had the one seed basically locked up, resting a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any specific names that can realistically say that we can get. I did see some reports today of Gordon Hayward. Not quite sure. It would depend on the price.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't really work out in OKC.
Hasn't worked. He's just slow.
Yeah, he's not the same after that disgusting injury he had.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was terrible.
Yeah. Oh man, just thinking about that
Yeah.
makes me grind my teeth. Um, well, Donnie, that's all I have for today, my man.
So long story short, sorry, I kind of got away from what you asked.
Oh,
No,
okay. I was like,
Michael Malone, you are not getting fired. You are getting a statue. That is what you're getting. I'm sorry, man. I completely derailed that whole segment.
no, you're good. Wow, I never even thought of him having a statue, but now I'm like, make it.
Just
Build a statue.
like I feel like if Joker, which Joker will have a statue, but he'll like demand it has to be with Malone and the other five, like the other
Yeah,
four.
from that championship team.
He would never want one by himself.
No,
Yeah.
no. And you know what? If that's going to cost me a few extra tax dollars, so be it. So be it.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything else for me, my man?
Um, yeah, I got something, but do you want to take a quick break? Quick.
Quick, break, quick.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Anyway, hey everybody, welcome back to Show Some Hus. We're just going to talk about one more thing, Leo. Um,
Educate me, Donnie.
I I piped this up way too much.
I mean, no, I mean, but this is the meat and potatoes of it all, man. So
All right,
this is
NBA
how you do
salary
it.
cap.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've learned, I didn't know this in American sports anyway, at least with American sports that claim they have a salary cap. There's something called a hard cap, something called a soft cap. NBA is a soft cap.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you an example of the NFL and the NHL are hard caps, meaning they have a specific number. Don't know those numbers exactly, but let's just say we're going to say the NHL. Okay, let's say the cap is $80 million. Okay, they sign a guy to $10 million a year over 8 years.
Okay.
Then that's literally what he that no matter how much you actually pay them, because they pay them slightly differently per year. So like
Yeah.
over the course of the year, he'll get the total amount, but it's all based on taxes as well.
Mhm.
But you know, what is it? 10 times 8 is 80. So divide that by 8. $10 million per year, hard cap. You cannot go over that 80 million. So that 10 million is taken out of that. Okay. Now the NBA is slightly different. They have this soft cap. There is a number. There is an actual number of a cap. Okay.
What is it?
It's a great question. I think it was like 148. I feel like that's what I saw. At least maybe that's what it was last year.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So 148 million. And every team uses that. Every team.
Okay.
And in the previous CBA, there was something called an apron. And you would go, if you went, you can go over that apron. But
What is the apron? What's the apron mean?
so, and that's a great question. I didn't understand why they used that word.
Because when I was trying to read about it, I read that too, and I was like, "Oh, Donnie will explain it."
Yeah, I I don't think I would be able to. Basically, let's say, okay, Nuggets we've spent our 148. Okay, now we're over an extra 10 million. Okay, these are all hypothetical.
Okay.
That extra 10 million over there every year, based on certain, I think, factors with the economics going on with the NBA and how well they're doing, there's a certain amount that you're like granted I think, grace on. Okay. Now, if you go over that, or no, sorry, that apron, I'm totally botching this. Okay, time out. You hit the 100, we're going to say 150. That's
Yeah.
the cap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Nuggets hit it. They go over 20 million.
Okay. We're 170.
Yes. They're in what they call, this is based on the old CBA. They have the first, they're over 20 million. So now they're technically spending 170 million. The first 150 is fine, right? Because that is the cap.
So that's your cap. Yeah.
Yep. The 20 million, you get taxed. They call it luxury tax. Okay.
Yep.
Now, I was thinking that this was luxury tax like with the government. It's not. It's with the NBA. So, how many ever dollars you're over, or how many ever like certain amounts you're over that 150 million, you get taxed on that. And this is again the old CBA. You get taxed on that, and then that money is redistributed amongst other teams in the NBA. And I will get to that in a moment I think what they use that money for. And I think it gets redistributed to teams that are not breaking or in those aprons, I think.
Okay.
Now the new CBA has apron 1 and apron 2.
Oh, great.
That's what's really getting us right now.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say you hit the 150 cap and then the second apron is 20 million over that cap. Okay. So if you're at like 165, you're within the first apron. The tax on that is not as big as if you go into that second apron.
Okay.
And that second apron, I think there's even the tax not only is higher, but it's like if you hit a certain amount over that second apron, it's like I think the tax is exponential to a certain extent. Like if you go over like every million that you go over like a certain amount, the tax is higher and higher and higher and higher. There's no third apron
Yet.
yet. And there are it's not just the tax that you can kind of be in trouble for. You can lose draft picks.
Ooh.
There was a few other things that like it can determine how you also re-sign players or how you sign players or how you trade players. So like if we wanted to make a big trade and we were like blowing way above that second apron, I don't know the exact specifics, but we may not be able to do that based on us being in that second apron.
Okay.
So not every team is spending the exact same amount. However, I think they did this to allow, because I mean, they want players to make money. There's a lot of money in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's the second, well, not, it's probably the third, most profitable, or sorry, it's the second most with a cap. I'm throwing out the MLB, right?
Yeah.
So they want players to get paid, but they also need to keep parity.
Yeah.
And the new CBA law, it's that second apron because we are in that second apron.
So Donnie, couldn't we go to Nikola and say, hey, can we renegotiate your contract and pay you less now?
See,
Pay more later? Is that an option?
So that's what I've been trying to research that. I cannot find anything specific on that because I thought the exact same thing. I thought the exact same thing with like Jamal, thought the exact same thing with MPJ.
Yeah.
And of all the guys that would probably do that is Joker.
Yeah.
Like even if we said we'll pay you this amount and we'll throw it towards our cap after you retire.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like something in the CBA that deters that. That would be nice.
Hussies?
Hussies.
On you.
Yeah, if anyone knows, please let us know in the comments, email us.
Yeah.
Stop by my house.
I keep looking up to the left, and it's because I'm looking at the screen.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
everyone.
We got mad technology now. We're running off a webcam.
Yeah, we got our production team behind us. They're in
Hey,
front of
Bill,
us. Yeah,
Sarah, you guys are doing great.
chives. Where's my water? No, so my next question is the salary cap the same? Like, how often does it go up?
It's been going up every year.
Okay, but like it's like inflation, right?
Yeah, I think COVID may have been like an anomaly type thing.
Okay.
It's based on the CBA collective bargaining agreement it's all based off revenue, right? And I mean, you look at we're hearing, all these things about a $7 billion deal with NBC, Amazon, and ESPN
Yep.
and throwing TNT out. I mean, 7 billion is absurd.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to go up quite a bit. And the issue with that is agents and players are really smart into knowing how to lean into that, right? Knowing that like $10 million 2 years ago is really $15 million now.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that's not a real math, but you know what I
I
mean.
know
You know what I
exactly
mean?
what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Value versus worth
yes. So like,
or price. Sorry. Value versus
yes,
price.
value, yeah. And I'm gonna do more research on it and I will return on one of our pods in the somewhat near future and I will try to educate us more on that. But
You educated me a lot today, man. That's awesome.
it's weird. I didn't realize that the NBA was a soft cap. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest.
So the only reason aprons exist is because of this soft cap. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And an
like
apron is more of like an extension,
yes.
or an allowance,
It's an allowance, yes.
and not allowance like you get from parents when you're a kid, hopefully, but
Yeah.
this is an allowance like, hey, we're allowing you to do this, but
There are
you
repercussions.
are gonna pay for
Yes.
it.
And I think what teams do, like let's say we were under the first apron, or if we were just in the first apron, I think we get like the money that is collected based off all the taxes from all the teams from those aprons. I think it's distributed based on who spent the less or the least, like that they probably get the most.
And what do those teams do? They have to do certain things with that money?
So that's what I'm wondering. And that's what I think what it is
Why would an owner not just
that's
slowly tank and then just
yes,
take extra?
that's exactly what I was thinking. And I think what it is they can put it away in like a type of savings, I guess,
Okay.
so that if they ever think, okay, now we have the players that we want to spend the money on, we can pull from that, or at least owners can.
And they can pay.
I just really hope that like Cronky's not writing himself a fat check. Not that, I mean, he probably gets a lot because we're in the second
Well,
apron, but
yeah, yeah. Well, and I mean, honestly, man, he's giving us some championships. Write yourself a fat check. But also, like, it would be disappointing to find out we lost out on another contract with with Jamal
Mhm.
because someone's cutting check. But yeah, it's interesting, man. Okay, so an apron is an allowance, that is taxed, and then the second apron is an extended allowance that is also taxed. So,
Taxed at a higher rate.
can could there be a team that spends 300 million on?
Yeah.
But
I,
then you're paying a bunch of tax and you have to pay those contracts the rest of.
yes. So there are, and that's the thing. The aprons, what they do is they're there to pull back the ridiculously rich owners. And it also can create criticism from fans towards owners that they're not putting in enough.
Okay.
Because if
Yeah.
like if an owner wants to stick around literally the base cap of let's say 150, I'd be ticked. If you look at what teams are spending, I'd be ticked.
Yeah.
Um, unless they're saying, okay, actually, we're not really good right now, a la Detroit Pistons. We're saving that money we're getting from the tax of the all the other aprons or
Okay.
everyone else in the apron. We're saving that for when, maybe we do draft some studs and all of
Yeah.
a sudden we start becoming our window opens and we're going to spend that and we're going to use that fund to help pay for more and more tax or apron tax or to pay their contracts or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's again, none of this is like I don't think I know it 100%, but I do feel like I have somewhat of a grasp on it. I couldn't sit here and calculate exactly like what our apron tax or luxury, they call it luxury tax. I couldn't tell you what that is or
Yeah.
whatever.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
But
We can look that up later, man.
yeah, I
Hussies got another job. Gotta keep looking up there. Hussies
see.
got another job for you. Do
Um,
some maths.
yo, also, I just want to give a shout out to Leo's shoes here.
Yo, these things are tough.
Yo,
These some old school box.
those are so fresh.
I'm taking good
Those
care of
are
these, man.
brand
I've
new
had these
too,
for 5
man.
years.
How do you keep your shoes good?
Thanks.
I need to pipe wear
I need to
shoes.
talk to Rocksteady about how he cleans his, man. That man keeps his shoes.
He knows what's up. He knows what's up.
Anyway, no, man, I'm thank you for sharing that because I'm excited to learn more because I feel like, the more you know, the more you can talk about.
Yeah, and I think what got me intrigued about it was obviously the fact that we're hearing we're not going to really sign anyone, blah blah blah. And then I'm like, but how I, I follow the NHL salary cap very, very closely,
Hmm.
but it's very easy. It's simple math because it's a hard cap.
And so why is Adam Silver or whoever makes decisions, I assume Players Union and Adam Silver together, right?
Yeah,
Why choose the soft cap?
that's a really good question. And I
Because
think I think it's because
I feel like you can bully more as an owner if you have the soft cap.
yeah, and I think it has like you were saying, like could a team spend 300 million? That you could. So soccer has teams like there's a team in England, Manchester City. It's basically owned by one of the richest humans in the world. And he spends billions.
Hmm.
And like I would be so afraid that he would, own the LA Lakers and he would just
Hmm.
go do that. But then, like I said, you get to a certain level, again, you lose picks.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
lose like the ability to have make certain trades.
And if that player does not pan out and you paid them, you're paying them 90 million a year.
Yeah,
Who's going to take that contract?
I know. I know. And I also think what it does is it allows teams to pay. I think it's actually beneficial to overall players. Like I think guys in the bench are going to make more. Teams are just going to have to be very crafty on how they find those guys that are like they're worth a good amount, but not a max. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I mean, I think I think a lot of us going forward, as just talking about the Nuggets. Number one, what happens with KCP? Because
Ooh.
kind of the next move is to either fill that position, um, and if we don't say, let's say we go back to CB, maybe we say CB, you better make a leap this year because we're going to be asking for it.
Hmm.
Then how do we backfill his position? Because we're going to need to, you know?
Hmm.
Um, so I think the first thing is what happens with KCP. That's the first. Does Reggie pick up his thing? We need to who is staying and who is going. Figure that out first, and then we find pieces to either backfill or like you're maybe we need to get rid of some guys. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's about right now. We need to figure out, okay,
The KCP situation.
yes, from with who we have, who's staying, who's going,
Hmm.
then go from there.
Yeah.
And at because at that point we'll know how much money we have to spend,
Yeah.
how much money the owner's willing to spend,
Hmm.
that type of thing.
When do rosters have to be finalized?
That's a good question.
I could look all this up, man. I'm Hussies
I I would assume,
before game one,
yeah, right.
right?
I
Like,
would just
your
assume.
homework is due this day. Like, you're gonna get your homework turned in.
I mean, I know like once the trade deadline hits, you're basically locked in. I think that there's exceptions. Like if you have a ridiculous injury spell amongst like 10 players, you can submit to the NBA and say, hey, we just really need to sign like some guys from the G League or
Yeah.
like maybe go find guys in Europe or something. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
that I think those are pretty um, off the norm. But that's a good question. Yeah, these are all things that we will number one learn from our hussies, or we'll just research them ourselves.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of both. You guys need to come back with the answers because that's your homework.
Yeah, but if anyone in the comments, we want to know what do you guys, how do you feel about KCP? How do you feel about CB?
Yeah.
Um, do you guys want Reggie to pick up his option? Um, are you one of those people that really want to trade MPJ? Do you have a realistic trade for me that you think would benefit us? Because I still can't find one. Um, and just let us know. We want to reach out to everyone. We want to have good conversations. And again, we joke about it, but if there's a fan out there that wants to come on this podcast, let us know.
$500,
$500.
or
And
maybe something
that
cheaper.
means you pay us $500.
Yeah. No, we're not paying you 500. No. Yeah, no. No.
Cash only because I don't want to pay taxes.
Yeah. And I don't do Cash App or Zelle.
Just kidding, IRS. We pay taxes.
Yes.
All right, buddy. This is probably be our last pod for what, a few weeks, maybe? Yeah. Let's enjoy the summer a little bit.
Maybe a little less, maybe a little longer. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We're not gonna have a schedule this summer.
No.
No, 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 no.
So go back and rewatch everyone.
Yeah.
Get us to 1,000 listens
Yeah, we
per sode.
one of our fan favorite episodes was I think our third or fourth one. It was Michael's Secret Sauce or
Michael's
Secret Stuff. Yeah, the movie episode, which you and I love basketball movies, so
We
we
do.
may be talking about basketball movies again in the future. Who knows?
Oh, we're definitely gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah. But can you or do you have any last thoughts on this season going into the off season? What's your feeling?
Don't panic. We'll be back.
I love that. I
That's
love
all I
that.
got.
Yep. Regroup.
Mhm.
Let's go to war.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Remind the people, my buddy.
Everyone, please do not forget to show some us. Go Nuggets.